be a little bit different from what the regular presentations we've been doing. This is going to be more based on, what is blockchain, what is cryptocurrency, what's the difference, what is Tron, what are the potential implications of Tron in the future, as well as what is decentralization, and then we'll do some Q&A, and and just make sure everybody's up to speed, as well as share a bunch of resources that everybody can go and do some research on their own, just so they can kind of get up to speed. And the reason we're doing this is because that we know that everybody's on different paces and levels of understanding in regards to blockchain and cryptocurrency, and coming into the Daisy Projects Funds platform. We just want everybody to kind of try to level up as far as their understanding, and make sure that it's going to help you a lot to be a leader, to have the information, the resources, to know where to go get the information and resources, so that you can have that leg up moving forward, because this is the new economy. It's literally, and the good thing about the cryptocurrency market is that there aren't really an expert in this industry is somebody who's been maybe dealing with the industry just 2 or 3 years. So there's not really, there's not, the godfathers of this thing have only been dealing with it for, a handful of years. So, we're all pretty much on the same level in regards to access to information. So, you could literally become an expert in short order. Just go do some studying, do some practicing, set up a few wallets, know the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. And so we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about all that today, and make sure we get everybody up to speed. And that was the other thing I want to talk about as well. Security. So we'll go over, after we go over decentralization and stuff, we'll talk about some security mechanisms and things that you guys can do to protect your Bitcoin or cryptocurrency fortune as you begin to accumulate it, because it's coming. It's coming. When you have a trading platform like Daisy at your disposal, you're in a good place to be able to pick up a lot of coinage. So I think probably in about 2 minutes we're going to go ahead and start, because we do have another presentation to do at 4 o'clock. So we apologize about the misunderstanding earlier, because I know that we usually quote times in Eastern Standard Time, and we actually put this one out in Central Standard Time, but we'll make sure we don't confuse people in the future. So
that was my bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I know it was Kevin whipped up a beautiful flyer and popped it out, and we didn't even go over the time. So that was my bad for not catching it. But so what we're gonna do is get into it. So I'm gonna just start with and just so you guys know, like, this is gonna be an interactive presentation. Okay, so this is not just gonna be me talking. This is Q&A, because when you guys ask questions, then everybody learns, because somebody may have that same question and just may not want to ask because maybe they don't want to look like an idiot or whatever. But look, trust me, I'm telling you guys, there's no experts here. Like, I'm an expert only because I've been dealing with blockchain for like 2 or 3 years. Like, I've traveled the world. I've been involved with some players doing it, only because I was taking the initiative to get really engaged in cryptocurrency. So, but allow me to just like share whatever I know with you, ask questions, The best way for you to learn, if you don't understand something, is just ask questions. So this is totally interactive. You guys can unmute your mic at any time and just pop your question out, okay? So we'll just start with blockchain. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys some information. I'm gonna introduce myself and my background. We'll talk about Kevin and his background, because Kevin has been, he's been like along this journey with me as well. And so we'll talk about our experience, and then we're gonna share some resources that you guys can go and study and look at on your own, so that, you guys can get like fully caught up. And then we can literally have another one of these sessions, like in a few days or whatever, just so we can like share information. So I'm the Mega Coach Troy. I've been involved with cryptocurrency for about 3 years now. It's 21 now, and I got heavily engaged in 17. Was fully aware of Bitcoin since the outset, which was in 2008 is when Bitcoin came in, and I didn't do anything about it, like most of you. Heard about it, did nothing about it. So I heard about it again in 2012, did nothing about it, was like, oh, okay, all right, I see it's like catching on a little bit, and then did nothing about it. By 2017, me and some of my teammates, we were talking about some stuff, and they were like, yo, like this is happening. So I really got engaged around that time, and we started developing projects around the rise of Bitcoin. So so at that time, I started to develop this a crowdfunding platform called Coins of Change, and it was a Bitcoin crowdfunding platform, and it really just got me like heavily involved in development and building a company around Bitcoin. From there, I actually started to underwrite an ICO, which was called HelpMeCoach.ai. So that was basically an artificial intelligence project surrounding cryptocurrency. It was based on the Ethereum blockchain. And like I learned so much about crypto, about security, about like how these things are underwritten, how to, develop and code a smart contract. And at the same time, I was developing a cryptocurrency portfolio. Now, at the time I was developing this portfolio, it was during the boom, right? So when we think about Bitcoin in 2017 is when it hit its 20,000 high. That was its all-time high up until just recently when it surpassed 40,000. So all of the altcoins were at their high then, because Bitcoin was at its high. So that was basically my story. I developed a couple of different projects. I traveled to Tokyo for the Satoshi's Vision conference. I've been to a bunch of different blockchain conferences in the States and internationally. But the most renowned conference that I attended, I was in Tokyo for the Satoshi's Vision conference, and I was there with Roger Ver, who is the founder of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin.com. So that's a real well-renowned wallet, but Bitcoin.com and Bitcoin are two separate entities. A lot of people think they're the same. They're not. So Bitcoin.com, he just secured that domain because he was smart, right? Because he was on the Bitcoin Core team. So when we talk about Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, who's run with Craig Wright, those are all forks of the same code. So Bitcoin Core is written on a specific blockchain code. And so there's a lot of information you can study about that. Please feel free to like just go to work on the internet and explore some of these things I'm talking about. Because Bitcoin Core is like, that's what you guys are, the Bitcoin that you guys know about right now. That's doing 40,000 per Bitcoin right now. Now, they have what's called a hard fork. Has anybody heard of a hard fork in the blockchain world? Just nod your head. I can see pretty much all of you guys in front of me. No, you haven't. Okay. So what a hard fork is what happens with a hard fork is, like, basically it's a duplicate of the code. So the Bitcoin core has a blockchain, it has a blockchain signature code. And I can literally go into the depository, the repository of Bitcoin, because it's a public ledger. All of the blockchains are public ledgers, right? So everyone has access to them. So I can go into the repository of Bitcoin Core. I can do a hard fork on the code. I can take the core code and I can duplicate it in another repository. And then I can bring my development team in and we can work on the code and we can develop a new code. So what happens is you take the core code and then the development team has developed the core code. And I'm giving you history right now, what actually happened. The core team said, this is the Bitcoin code. This is what Satoshi's vision for the code was. This was his charter was to literally decentralize the financial markets. The centralization of the financial markets, he felt, was global slavery. And he was right. The financial markets have enslaved the entire world. So Satoshi Nakamoto was a visionary, but he was also a scientist. So his idea was to create this code, this new form of digital currency that could basically free the world. And that was like a huge, I mean, imagine, right? Like, that's a big vision. But he was like, this code, this blockchain is the technology that can do it, right? So what we're talking about now is two separate things: blockchain and Bitcoin. Blockchain is the technology that Bitcoin is formed on. And I would like to just, maybe if I have an image to share, I'm going to share this image right here. Let me just share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, good. Okay, here it is right here. All right, I'm not gonna play this right now, but I just want you guys to look at this image, and I want you to look it up later and play it when you guys get the opportunity while I'm explaining this history. Okay, so this is a movie called The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin. All right, and I want everybody here to make sure they watch it. If you have not watched it already, just make sure you go look it up and just watch this, because it's going to give you so much insight into what Bitcoin and blockchain is. All right, so back to my story. So the Bitcoin core team said, this is what Satoshi's vision is, and we're sticking to the vision. Now, there were some developers on the team that said, you know what? We believe that there should be some changes to the code so we can make it more in line with what he actually wanted, because there were limitations to the code. Blockchain, the Bitcoin core code, the blocks. Have you guys heard of mining? Bitcoin mining? Everybody nod yes if you've heard of Bitcoin mining, right? So, okay. So Bitcoin mining is based on blocks. So there's so many transactions that can happen per block. So some of the developers felt like the blocks should be bigger, because if the blocks are bigger, then they can do more transaction and there's more data that can transfer through each block. Bitcoin core team said, no, we don't want to do that. So some of the other developers said, well, then we'll just do a hard fork on the code and we'll do it ourselves. So they developed their own, they started to split off and develop their own development teams. So that's basically what happens in the corporate world anyway, right? There's one vision for the company that these guys don't believe that that's really the right vision. They get the game and then they take the game and they go and do it on their own. So
Right.
this is what happened. So they took the Bitcoin core team and Roger Ver and his team started to develop Bitcoin Cash. Has everybody heard of Bitcoin Cash? Okay, so Bitcoin Cash is another form of Bitcoin. It's the same code, except the blocks are bigger. The blocks are like 8 gigs. So more transactions, faster transactions, and less mining fees. All right, so there were several core developers on the Bitcoin team. It was Roger Ver, it was Craig Wright. Craig Wright developed what's called Bitcoin SV. Bitcoin SV is SV stands for Satoshi's vision. I am going into a project right now with Craig Wright and Bitcoin SV. So I'm developing a project with Bitcoin SV. Bitcoin SV has a $3 billion valuation right now. And it's growing. So the point of what I'm saying is that it's a public ledger. Everyone has access to it. Like literally, if I wanted to just do a hard fork on the Bitcoin code, I could. I'd have to have the right development team. You know, it would take a lot of, you'd have to really know that. You'd have to have a team to do that. But what I'm saying is that's why there's so many altcoins, right? Excuse me. So when you guys look at the cryptocurrency market, you see hundreds of coins available. And you're like, how is this possible? The reason it's possible is because the blockchain code is public ledger. It's available to everyone. You can literally get access to the code and start to develop on it. So, and this is part of Satoshi's vision. He wanted to have a 100% public ledger system for the world to operate all of its finances on. Now, why do you guys think he wanted that? Think about it. The Federal Reserve Bank, which is a conglomerate of banks globally, has never, in the history of the Federal Reserve Bank, it's never been audited. Did you guys know that? It's never been audited. Nobody has seen the back office workings of the Federal Reserve Bank. So that in itself was like, this is not right. So the blockchain is 100% accessible to everyone. So that's kind of a history into Bitcoin and blockchain. Now let's talk about altcoins. There are hundreds of altcoins available. If you guys do not have much, experience with altcoins, I advise you to go and study sites like coinmarketcap.com. And we're going to share all of these links with you guys. It's called coinmarketcap.com. It's basically like, oh my goodness, let's see, like the New York Stock Exchange, maybe. No, not even that, because it's not really an exchange. It's really just a listing of most of the altcoins available. And you can like figure out, you can click on which exchanges they trade on. You can get the history of them. CoinMarketCap is a world of information if you're just like new to the market and want to study and understand the different coins that are on the market. You'll get the pricing, the founders, whatever history is available on it. It's all public information. So CoinMarketCap is a great resource. So now, how does this relate to, the project we're going into? So I want to talk about Tron. So Tron is an altcoin that was developed back in 2017 was the birth of Tron, and it was developed by a guy named Justin Sun. Justin Sun was at the time he was a younger kid. He was a developer. His father was rich, so his father was a big time business guy in China. So Justin Sun basically came from money. But as a developer, he started to develop this Tron coin. At first, a lot of people didn't take it real serious. However, because it happened during the boom, Tron took off to like 15.7 cents during, that was its high in 2017. So, but Justin Sun had a big vision for Tron. And what he really wanted to do was he wanted to have a blockchain that you could develop entertainment, gaming, a lot of different corporate projects that you could develop a blockchain, a very robust blockchain code on. So the blocks on Tron are big, and there's a very high supply of Tron. I think the supply of Tron is like 100 billion, right? Now, the supply of Bitcoin, the initial supply of Bitcoin was 21 million. And right now, there's only about there's a smaller, a minority portion of those Bitcoins are still available. I think there's maybe like 6 or 7 million Bitcoins left, right? So that's why Tron is only, the valuation is only at 3 cents per Tron, because of the supply, right? Higher supply, lower cost. If you lower the supply, it'll be higher cost. So these are some of the economic metrics that you will have to understand about blockchain to understand why the price is what the price is. So, so Tron, one of the things that is very, very significant about Justin Sun and what he's done is Justin Sun is a visionary. He's very vocal. You know, he's not like a private guy. He's very outspoken and out open about the things that he's doing. He just secured a massive partnership with a regulatory body in China. And this regulatory body basically, if you think about what you're familiar with in America, like how the SEC might determine, like let's say AT&T and Sprint merging would be considered like a monopoly on the telecommunications industry. So he secured so Justin Sun secured a partnership with a regulatory body like that in China. They basically regulate who you can do business with in China so that you're not monopolizing the market. Now, what's significant about this partnership, and the reason I'm telling you this, is because Tron is about to engage in a lot of new corporate partnerships. So there's going to be a lot of development on the Tron blockchain, right? So Daisy is just the beginning. And then there's several other projects that are developed on the Tron blockchain. Don't get me wrong. You can go do your research and you'll find some of them. But a lot of them are developing and they're all brand new right now is because of this new partnership. It literally is allowing him to be able to like launch all kind of new projects. So that's going to add usability. It's going to add scalability to the blockchain, and Tron is definitely going to be going up. Because of the high supply, you know, I wouldn't expect Tron to like, it's not going to spike like Bitcoin. So the supply won't allow it, right? So don't even expect that. But I would definitely expect a gradual rise in Tron as the use cases move up. So just to show you guys just a couple of quick resources. So definitely go get the Rise and Rise of Bitcoin. Watch that. Definitely look up CoinMarketCap. so you can start researching some of the different altcoins that are available and kind of start to do some research on the markets. This is a resource, the blockchain fundamentals. I will look at this video right here because it's a very simple explanation of how blockchain actually works, and it will really open your eyes to blockchain. Now, I'm gonna tell you something about the corporate perspective of blockchain and cryptocurrencies initially. So during 2017, during the boom, when Bitcoin was running strong, and a lot of us were actually buying Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin, getting engaged with Bitcoin, um, the corporations, a lot of banks, they didn't take Bitcoin serious at all. They were like, it's a fad, like it's not gonna last, it's gonna go down the toilet. It's basically a shit coin. So but what they did respect was blockchain. The reason they respected it because the technological fundamentals of blockchain were undisputable. Blockchain is a simple technological mechanism that simply works, and it works universally. So it doesn't matter the application, it works. And it works in a very transparent way that companies were like, okay, if this technology, if we can like use this in a way where we can like capitalize on it for ourselves, then it would be huge. It would change the face of economics. The problem was blockchain, it was literally a slap in the face to corporate America. It's literally like a total, like the hero versus the villain. The villain is corporate America, meaning our accounting books are private. We manipulate audits. Everything is manipulated in the corporate world. The stock market, Forex, most of these things are manipulated some kind of way, but blockchain cannot be manipulated. So they were like, this is great. However, how do we use this and still be able to maintain our status quo of cooking the books whenever it's needed to cook the books? You can't do that with blockchain because everything is transparent. It's a public ledger. So what they did is they kind of smeared it. They smeared Bitcoin. They smeared it all, and I'm sure you guys remember the smear campaigns by Chase Bank and some of these big banks. They basically shunned Bitcoin and blockchain. However, in the background, they were totally engaged with blockchain. For instance, in 2017 and 2018, Bank of America filed more patents on blockchain than any company in the world. They were filing patent on cryptocurrency, digital currency, blockchain this, blockchain that. Bank of America was just going down through there. They wanted everything blockchain. So while this is all happening in the background, while the smear campaigns are going out, oh, that's just a fad. Don't listen to that. It's not real. All of that. So what does that tell you? What does that teach you? There's always a lesson in that. Do your own research. Have your own brain. God gave us all a brain that works. So use it. Go and do the research. Figure out what this stuff means and then cross-reference it with what you already know about the world of finance, economics, how business works, things like that. So I say all that to say this. Moving forward to our next point, talking about decentralization, right? Decentralization, what does it mean? So decentralization is basically, we talked about the world financial system is a centralized structure. You have central banks all across America. I mean, all across the world. They're all connected. They all do business with each other because they fund the smaller banks. They fund the smaller retail banks. Retail banks can get audited all day long. But as long as you can't audit the central structure, then it doesn't matter. They can manipulate as much as they want. You know, we live in a fiat currency system. So what that means is like, you know, our money's backed by nothing. They just print money and they print money and they print money. And so with blockchain though, and with Bitcoin, it's finite. There's a limit. The blockchain will tell you exactly how much Bitcoin is available, and it's a very limited supply, which is why Bitcoin is going to rise even into the 7 figures. It will rise into the 7 figures. Absolutely. So when we talk about Tron, we talk about decentralization. All of these different blockchains allow for us as entrepreneurs to open up our minds to what kind of opportunities are actually available for us. You can literally study what's in front of you right now. Blockchain full course, blockchain explained, you know, these different courses, public information, free information. You can literally become a blockchain expert. And you can start to underwrite your own projects if that's what you choose to do. You know, it just depends on what your goals in life are and, you know, what you want to do. And, you know, if you just want to come in, make money, you know, get involved with some projects that are actually functioning economically, that can add value to you and what you're trying to do in the future, great. But if you have, you know, a development mindset, you think, you know what, like I really want to take the time to invest time and engage in this, then it's all out here for you. So I just would advise even just watching like the short blockchain fundamentals so that you can get engaged with how this stuff actually works. So decentralization, we were talking about. So in regards to decentralizing the financial system, that was Satoshi's vision. That was literally his vision. So now we talk about, like, for instance, with Daisy, decentralized AI system. So taking advantage of this decentralization, you also have to, I always like to compare it to like your beliefs. The reason I like to compare it to your beliefs is because the financial system that we know that's a centralized structure. It's still the system that we live and operate in on a daily basis. We have to look at it truly for what it is. It's a slavery financial system. It exists to keep you dependent 100% on it. You are enslaved to that system. Whereas the blockchain system is actually a system of freedom. It's free. Blockchain is free. It's transparent. It's free for everyone to see. It's free for everyone to develop on. And it's also free for you to manage your own finances your way with no interference. No one can tell you you can and can't do that. It's a free and open system. Now, there are costs to freedom. There are costs to freedom. You know, just like they talk about Harriet Tubman, right? Harriet Tubman, you know, when she was doing the Underground Railroad and she was going to free the slaves, a lot of them didn't want to go. Why? Because a lot of them didn't know that they were enslaved. They didn't feel like they were enslaved. They literally felt like, well, you know, we're free. You know, master treat us real good. You know, we eat. We got someplace to live. We all right. You know, we not. You know, he might get on, whip our backs every now and then, but we, you know, for the most part, we free. No. She was like, you're not free. So the game is this. We are indoctrinated to the financial system we live in. Some of us have done well. You know, some of us have done well. We're successful. We have businesses. You know, we live in nice houses. We drive nice cars. However, that does not mean we don't live in an enslaved financial system. The blockchain system is a system that is absolutely about freedom. So I want you to understand the contrast. I want you to see it like that, black and white, because that's literally what it is. It's that black and white. Freedom, enslavement. You can still do well in the financial system we live in, but if you cross over to the blockchain side, if you cross over to this cryptocurrency, this new world economy, I want you to understand the security ramifications of that. So let's talk real quick about security. But before I go into that, does anybody have any questions, comments, anything you want to say about anything I've said thus far?
Yeah, because a few people had just questions on basically what is cryptocurrency, which you went over all that. What is blockchain? I think that's good that you explained all that to them. I thought there was a couple people that had some questions, but it looked like
that's what. Let me try to see. I'm trying to see if I can look at the chat.
You may have answered the question for them with that description. Again, we're going to share some links and pages so people can go and do their own research on that, because there's quite a few people in the group that are very familiar with, crypto and all the terms and, what Forex is and everything else. So,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, good.
But this was a great introduction to explain to people who are not familiar with it, what it is. And also, like I said, we're going to give them some resources on where they can go do some studying on it at.
Yeah,
I think after you talk about security, maybe we should go ahead and explain about what the Tron and the Daisy connection are, and what it is that they can get involved with, and how they can become part of the program that we're working on.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that right now, because we are I'm looking at the time. Yeah. So from a security standpoint, the most important thing that you guys need to understand in regards to security is that when you cross over to the freedom of blockchain, cryptocurrency, all of that, it is a new level of operation. So in the old system, you deal with retail banks, you deal with the Federal Reserve Bank down to the retail banks. And the retail banks deal directly with customers like, you and I. So, they basically are custodians of the money. They manage all the money, the world's money. So if you have an account there, you make a mistake, if I send, 10,000 to Kevin and I meant to send it to Melissa, then I can just call my bank and say, hey, I made a mistake. I did not mean to send this to them. I need to revoke that transaction. They can reverse the transaction, pull the money back, or just like cancel it, and then they'll resend it, and boom, they took care of everything for me. Customer service is on the line. They're on the job because they're the custodians of my money, right? So in this world, in this freedom world of blockchain, there is no customer service. You are the bank. You're the bank. So when transactions happen on the blockchain, they're final. They're done. You can't call it back. There's no do-over. There's no recall. So you have to be secure. You have to save all of your information. You have to make sure you know exactly where all of your passcodes are. And make sure all of your 12 keywords are and your private keys. You need to have a security plan in place for that. Now, let me just a quick synopsis. I want to go over the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. The wallet that you guys all have right now, which is TronLink, is a hot wallet. What makes it hot? It's hot because it's online. It's accessible to the blockchain, right? A cold wallet is offline, meaning there's no online access to that wallet. So this is a cold wallet is where you want to store your savings, your Bitcoin. This would be considered your own Federal Reserve, your treasury.
Something like that.
Right? So this is your own Federal Reserve. So your retail bank is your TronLink wallet. It's online. So that's your Chase, your Bank of America. You're online, you're accessible to the retail markets, transactions going in and out. But when you get to the certain points of maybe 10,000, 15,000, whatever it is, 5,000, whatever it is, you can transfer it over to your cold wallet, your cold storage wallet, which is offline. It cannot be accessed, right? So how do you get a cold wallet? There's a couple of different ways you can do it. Some of the wallets offer cold storage. And what it is they basically have a vault. You could call it a vault, but basically it's a server that they use that's offline. And some of them offer this. I think TronLink offers this. Don't they offer it, right, Kevin?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So they offer an offline. They offer a cold storage wallet, so you can use that if you want. Now you can have your own cold storage wallet, and I'll tell you two ways you can do it. One, you can order what's called a Trezor wallet, the Trezor or the Ledger, either one of them. That's a piece of technology. It's like a USB stick. You stick it in your computer. You can drop all of your cryptocurrency there. It can take multiple different currencies, and boom, it's offline. You save it, you're done. You only plug it in when you want to add to your reserve. Or if you want to, do it a different way, I'm gonna say,
Right.
You could take an old cell phone. Right? If you have an old cell phone that is not connected to the internet, basically you only turn Wi-Fi on for this phone to add money to the wallet. So you could use something like any one of the wallets. Any wallet that you have, you can turn it into a cold storage wallet. But I would definitely use one of the wallets offered that actually have, cold storage. But any wallet you use on that phone, it could be blockchain, it could be a Coinomy, it could be, TronLink, any one of them. Clever. You put it on that offline phone and you keep the phone turned off, powered down, Wi-Fi off. And you always make sure you have your private keys written down to that cold storage wallet somewhere else. So when you power that phone on, you connect the Wi-Fi, you send Tron to that wallet, you disconnect the Wi-Fi, turn the phone off. That's a cold storage wallet.
Hey, just real quick. So a lot of people probably have heard about the guy that has almost run out of passwords attempts. He got like 200 million worth of Bitcoin sitting there. Is that in a cold wallet? I forget where he's got it at, but he's only got like 2 more chances. So that's why it's important to write that down and have that somewhere, man. You got to have that backup password.
Because write it down in 5 places. We keep saying it, a screenshot, that's not the move. That's an elementary school move. And that's not a sufficient way to manage your finances.
Right. It's a good way to start, but I wouldn't leave it on there because if somebody hacks your device, that they got access to that.
Yeah, you would only do that just to set up the wallet,
Right.
But once you get it set up, you need to write all of that stuff down in a couple of different notebooks and keep them in separate locations and make sure that, because right now, if you're just playing with, a few thousand, you feel like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. But what happens when you got, 6, 7 figures? You're going to want to make sure you have a security plan in place. So make sure you have a security plan in place. So let's get to the next point. What were we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about
Tron and the opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
So So all of this is just to prepare you guys for the Daisy Project. So a lot of you guys are familiar with the Daisy Project. Some of you are not. So um, I know that Kevin has shared some information with you guys, but some insight into Daisy. Um, the company that we work with, Indotech, has developed trading technologies for cryptocurrency. They started developing these technologies in 2017. In 2018, they started commercially using these technologies. Let me go to, let me just put my screen on this so that I can have some context for what I'm talking about here. So they commercially they started utilizing these trading technologies, these artificial intelligence trading systems, and they've been phenomenally successful with these systems. And now they were traditionally only servicing institutional clients not Indotech, but Gemini, Coinbase, Kraken, these big exchanges, institutional banks. That's who they've been utilizing their software with, this trading technology. So for us, we haven't really had access to this until now. So now we're able to, with this crowdfunding project that they're doing, they're allowing us to be able to crowdfund this technology. So what happens is when you become a contributor to this project, you get three things. You get equity in the project and in the company. You get, when they go public, because they are going public in 2022. You're also going to get trading rewards. So profits from trading as the AI technology is trading. And I'll just say last month, from December to January 4th, they had about 3 different strategies. One of them did like 380%. The other one did like 400 and something percent. The other one did like 500 and something percent. So these are the type of results that they're able to produce. Um, Now they have kept their predictions, their projections conservative for the people in this community, and the reason they're doing that is because they don't like, yeah, if I'm doing 500% a month, like I can't guarantee you that I'm gonna do that. There's no guarantee, right? There's just no guarantee. Trading is trading. Some days you might make a profit, some days you make nothing, some days you might lose trades. So that's how it works. But um, they're definitely going to be substantial trading rewards and profits. Secondly, you get rewards from the referral network. Now, the referral network, the crowdfunding piece is powerful. A lot of people don't really, some people are not really into the crowdfunding piece, and that's because they haven't started making money. Once you start making money, you're going to be telling people what you're doing, like, for instance, I have several businesses, right? So the only way my business can grow is by sharing it. Like if I need to go get new tenants, I got to market. I got to go find some new tenants. I'm gonna ask my tenants, hey, anybody looking for an apartment? Nobody looking for an apartment? Or if you run any kind of business you run, you always tell your clients, you give them good service. You tell them, hey, if you refer anybody, I'll give you discount on your next service, whatever the case may be. That's all just marketing. Why? Because good service sells itself. So at the end of the day, you might not be interested in the referral network. It's fine. But as you start to make money and as things start to develop for you, you're going to want to share it. So since they know that, they've built in this referral network. The referral network is amazing. It pays out 48% of all profits into the referral network. And then so basically your contribution to the crowdfund splits. Part of it goes to trade, the other part goes to the referral network. So you're going to have 2 assets with 1 contribution. You're going to have a trading account and you're going to have a referral asset-based network. So when I talk about a trading account, you're basically making a contribution to the trading account. Technically, it's not really a trading account. You're making a contribution to a project that monitors the results of a massive trading account. But for your contribution, you receive rewards from being part of that trading account. Okay, so that's how it works. And that's all happening on a blockchain transparent basis. You can see it all in your back office, right on your app, right on your phone. You're literally running a family office hedge fund right from your phone. It's like literally, I couldn't have dreamed of this. Like, this is something I've been looking for like 10 years. I've been developing trading platforms and everything for like 10 years straight, trying to get this one piece in place, this one piece that I know if I could just have a cash flow generator, then I could attach this to every project that I do just to supply the cash flow needed to sustain the project. Right? So that has always been my goal. And that's been my entire intention in being involved in the trading industry, trading Forex, options, commodities, oil, whatever it is. It was always one goal in mind, when that was to have a system in place that would generate cash flow from the markets. And then I could redirect those funds into real estate projects, whatever projects I'm getting involved in, because it would offset the tax basis, and it would also keep a steady supply of cash flow, because when you're doing a big project, you need cash flow to feed the project. Otherwise, you're feeding it out of your pocket, which is not good financing, but it's how most of us do it. So anyway, that has always been my goal, and that is exactly what this project has delivered to us. And it's on the blockchain.
Hey,
Meaning,
I was just gonna add that when you're talking about the referral thing, not to cut you off, bro, but you on the referral thing, a lot of people didn't understand why I was inviting them to this. But like you said, when you start making money, you're gonna tell people. It's just part of, if you care about them and you want to see them succeed, you're gonna share with them how you're getting money. A lot of people see me running my plumbing business, and they feel like, well, man, that's all he does. But a lot of people didn't know that I was doing this for years, because you introduced me to it and told me about it and been walking me down that path. And we've been watching these profits go up and watching these coins flip. And, it got to the point where I was able to invest in this just using some of my coin money. I didn't even have to come out of my pocket. I just used coin money. I just transfer funds over. So for all the people that are in here that I invited, just know that you're in here because I invited you, because I really want to see you succeed. I know that this is lucrative. I've made money already in this market. And I believe that y'all can make money as well. So, as far as he was talking about the referrals, I'm recommending to you and referring to you, but the level that I came in at, I really don't even have to refer anybody. I'm already in. So, but it is a good aspect, because you got a residual income based off of those referrals. My bad, I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. I just wanted to.
No, absolutely. No, that's important. That's important to know, and that's important to say, because it's true. A lot of people, they feel like, and honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all, like, where we going with this, we are literally going into hedge fund model. Like, this funding project that we're doing, we're bringing in bank financing. We're about to go into big projects, and we're going to be financing them, and we're going to be using this cash flow model, this daisy trading model, to supply the cash flow for the projects. Of course, we want to share that with people and get people engaged, but we also know that people move at their own pace. Everybody moves at their own pace, and that's cool. But the deal about it is this, and this is what I love about this blockchain system. You can get involved at whatever level you choose to get involved. You can come in at tier 1, which is just $100 in Tron. You can come in at tier 6, or you can come in like a big dog, top of the tier. It's totally up to you. And the top of the tier is 102,000. But the point of the matter is this: whatever tier you come in at, you have equal rights to the entire referral network. You own that asset, that one asset. the referral network. And then you have your trading profit reward asset. So you have these assets that are now under your control, and you have the opportunity to earn from them. Take your time, learn about blockchain, learn about how this works. But we have an opportunity now when we relaunch in just a few days, because we did our pre-launch, and we went back to the drawing board, and we refined the system. So now when we relaunch now, the system is going to be perfected. And when I say we refined the system, we basically took the one smart contract and broke it up into 3 smart contracts so that it could manage all of the data. There was a massive response from the market. It was too much data. So it was slowing the smart contract down. So we had to, fix that issue. So now what it gives us the opportunity to do is come in and relaunch. And all the people that didn't get a chance to get in on the first launch, you now have a second opportunity. Second chances are great. How many times have you heard, man, everybody deserves a second chance, right? This is your second chance. This is your second chance. So I advise you, watch the videos, do some, learn some information about this. But I can tell you, this system is literally a dream come true. You're literally going to be your own personal fund manager for you and your family, for your own personal finances. Do it. Take the opportunity, learn what you need to learn to get engaged, set up your account, run with it. You'll learn as you go, right? You'll learn as you go, but don't sit on the sidelines and watch wins come in and you're not even on the field when you've been invited to the game. All right. So again, I really invite you guys, make sure you check out the information. I hope that I've been helpful in information that I've given you has been, a good guidepost for you. I'm always available. Make sure you guys join our chat. We'll share we're going to share some links with you guys. Let me see. Maybe I need to share this stuff in the chat now. You know what?
In the chat.
Yeah, do this, Kevin. Go ahead and drop some stuff in the chat for them. I got to jump over to this other presentation, you guys. And I really appreciate you guys jumping on. I hope the information was helpful. Like I said, please watch the videos. And I definitely am open to us scheduling, something else another time, maybe later in the week. But we're full-fledged. I just want you guys to know we're full-fledged. We're relaunching this week. And it's going to be very active, very busy. So if you do plan on getting engaged and taking advantage of, some of the profit rewards, the crowdfunding rewards, if you know people that this would be interesting to them, then bring them on. Bring them in, bring them on. We can get a one-on-one schedule with them. We can, get them on a presentation. I do presentations every day at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I do a presentation and Q&A, so we're always available. But at the end of the day, we're here for you. We want to see you win, but ultimately, the choice is up to you. So I love you guys. I'm going to jump off, Kev, and anything you guys need, please reach out to me. I'm always available.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, you guys. I'm going to jump over to this other presentation I have scheduled at 4 or 5. If you guys want to see the full presentation, then I'm gonna share that link, or Kevin can share it in the chat. If you guys jump over to the Telegram chat, there will be a link there. You can click on the link and just jump into the presentation. And I'm gonna do a full presentation just on Daisy and how it works and how you can get engaged.
Right on. And I think everybody has that already. I've been texting everybody.
Awesome.
Anybody?
Perfect. All right, you guys.
All right, bro.
Love and peace. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Anybody have any other questions that I can try to answer for you? Unmute your mics.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm Cordell. I just want to know, I just want to say I'm going to post a link for the Tron virtual conference.
Yep.
That happened late 2020. And that'll give everybody a better insight about the projects Tron's involved with.
Right on. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect. Yeah,
But
the links I'm sharing in there are really just more for people who don't know about don't know anything about crypto or what it means or what the terms mean. So that's I'm just sharing some general stuff for them.
okay.
So yeah,
Well,
if you could drop that in there, man, that'd be awesome.
all right. Well, thank you so much for the information today too, because that's very fundamental to me to know
Right
all
on.
the mechanics about how this thing operates.
Right on. Cool. Cool. All right, man.
All right.
Anybody else got any other questions? I'm about to get out of here myself. I got a little 9-year-old birthday to get to.